Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Brill. You see their website right there. Whatever legal need you might have, they are the team to call. They always talk about they'll come to you, and they mean it. You've seen the. I don't know that they'll necessarily land a helicopter in your backyard or ride a Jeep through your yard, but wherever you want to meet them, they will meet you. The law offices of Ogle, Elrod, and Brill. Trust them if you have legal needs. All right, and today on Overtime coming up, it will be Mark, Jimmy, Chuck, and myself answering some of your Twitter questions, talking more about football, the coaching staff, the coaching changes, talk about the week ahead for Tennessee basketball. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsSourceTV, and I'll tell you when Overtime is posted at SportsSource.tv, our website. Okay, guys, Alabama and Clemson play tomorrow night in Glendale, Arizona. For the most part, you'd have to think this is Alabama's defense versus Clemson's offense. Could be the other matchup that decides it, but going in, that's the kind of the sexy matchup that people are wanting to see. The SEC hasn't won a national championship in a whole 2 years. This will be the 3 years in a row without one. Does Alabama win or does Clemson win?
I'm going to go with Alabama winning, and I think if you get good quarterback play and no turnovers out of Alabama, I think they win handily.
I wouldn't count on Coker playing like he did the other night.
Not like he did the other night, but if he can play 2/3 of the way he did the other night, I think if they don't turn it over, they win, and I think they can win by a couple of touchdowns.
I like
wouldn't
Alabama.
bet on that,
though. I called some coaches around the SEC to what do you have to do to beat Alabama, and if you give 2 or 3 reasons why, then okay. Well, they were given 6 or 7 things. You got to do stop Henry and stop this and do that. And if you got to do 6 or 7 things to beat somebody, I don't think you're going to beat them. I think Alabama's going to beat them.
All right, Mike Strange.
I love Deshaun Watson. I love watching Clemson, but I just think Alabama's too good. To me, the question is whether it'll be a good game or two touchdowns or more.
Chuck, are we all underestimating Clemson?
I think it's unanimous. And don't forget the Nick Saban factor in some of those big games, because I've won more money on him than I've lost. And the Vegas line, is Clemson is a 7-point underdog. So they're playing that nobody gives us a chance. It's us against the world. Well, they're undefeated. It's a good football team. I would have Alabama winning in that 13-point range.
I'll take Alabama, but I'll say this: who does Alabama struggle with defensively? What types of offense? The type of offense Clemson runs, and Clemson's got about the best guy in the country for running that offense. We saw what Ohio State did to Alabama last year, big game that I never thought would happen. I think it may be closer than you guys think. Especially you, Chuck, but I'm not going to put money on it with you. All right, we'll see you next week right back here for the Sports Source on Channel 6. We appreciate you. We appreciate our sponsors, and we appreciate you appreciating our sponsors. We'll see you next Sunday right back here.
Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame, with exciting fall sports prints now available.